this video is for you. We're going to tap into some information. I'm going to show you how I do this. I'm going to show you how to read the room, read people, and read tarot. Okay, this is not going to be taught anywhere else because I don't use the textbook version of reading tarot. I use psychic and intuition to read everything, everyone. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little snippet of how I do it, okay? And by the end of this video, you're going to have a little bit more knowledge on how to do it yourself. So we have the deck here, okay? I want you to think about something going on in your life right now, okay, that you want clarity on. It could be anything. This is just going to be like a collective reading, and we're going to do it together, okay? So you have what you want to know about? Okay, so let's go ahead and split the deck. So the first things first is usually you just need to shuffle once just to clear the energy, okay? And then we're going to knock on the deck. You don't have to do this. This is just kind of like a tradition. Clear the energy, okay? So we have fresh energy in this deck from the previous reading that we've done. And now you can do it however you want to do it. Use your intuition. I like to shuffle the deck until cards fall out, but you can do it however you like to do it, whatever your calling is, okay? Some people like to feel the cards and there's like a tingly feeling or like heat that comes off certain cards. Some people like to just split the deck randomly and pull from the top, whatever fits you, okay? So now that you have your question in mind, we're going to do the reading, okay? We're going to just have 3 cards come out to give us clarity. Okay, so one fell out, okay? The 8 of Cups, and I'm going to show you how to read this in a second. Okay, so if you're a good storyteller, then you should be able to read tarot pretty well. I want you to think of tarot as a comic strip without the words, okay? So you have your comic strip, you're building a story, you're laying all the cards together, and they're going to tell you a story. You're going to listen, you're going to tune into the energy of the card and ask, what is the card telling me that has to do with what I'm asking, okay? Second card came out, and we're going to have one more card that comes out. Again, it's however you feel comfortable shuffling. Okay, so I have my 3 cards. So now I have it's like a comic strip, right? It's telling me a story. Okay, but how do I read it to know what the story is? Well, I'm going to use a little bit of intuition. So I'm going to look at the first card, okay? So look at this with me. This is the first thing that we're wanting clarity on. And we're just going to relax our senses. We're going to relax our mind, and we're going to look at the card, and we're going to see what we're drawn to in the card, okay? It could be a feeling. It could be a color. So just relax for a second, and what are you drawn to? I'm really drawn, and every time I do a reading for somebody, I could pull this same card for 20 different people, and I'll be drawn to something different in the card every single time because the message is always different for every single person, okay? So use your intuition with this on what you're drawn to. So for me, I'm drawn to the person leaving in this card. And when I'm looking at that person, I keep feeling like it's a female energy, okay? But that doesn't mean it has to be. Maybe for you it's a male energy, right? Because you're using your own intuition to figure out what you want clarity on. So for me, I'm saying this is a female, and this female is leaving. Okay, so now that we have that much, we're going to tune into what is she leaving? Let's see what pops into her head. What feelings do we get? What is she leaving from? Quiet your mind. Tap into it. Whenever I feel this, I feel like we are giving up an addiction. That's what I feel like, okay? I feel like this girl, and for a lot of people, this is going to be like alcohol, but I feel like we're leaving an addiction behind, okay? Okay, so you can let me know what you got for that card. It does not have to be the same thing that I got for that card because it's going to be different for everyone, okay? The Knight of Wands. Okay, it does help to know the basics of what these cards mean because cups have to do with emotional fulfillment, but like I said, I got alcohol when I looked at this, right? So it doesn't have to go off of the definition of the card. You always use your intuition. But wands have to do with passion, fire. It's also like the air or the fire signs of the zodiac, okay? So, and cups have to do with the water signs of the zodiac. So it does help to have a little background knowledge, but again, use what comes to you first, okay? So we're going to leave something behind that has to do with an addiction. A female energy is. So what is this card saying? When I'm looking at this, okay, so nothing in the card actually caught my attention. I just immediately heard in my brain, there's somebody who is getting in the way of this. So this female might want to give up alcohol or some kind of addiction, but there's somebody who's a negative influence in this female's life who keeps kind of like reintroducing either the alcohol or reintroducing the situation that makes this person want to drink, okay? So you look at this card, you tap into this card. What do you notice in the card? What comes to you when you try to tap into the energy of this card? What is this card telling you about your situation? Everyone should have a different answer because everyone's question was different. I'm just showing you kind of how I do it. Okay, so you see how different that was? With the first card that I tapped into, I immediately honed in on the person, right? And then I honed in on the cups. With this card, I didn't need to hone into anything. It was just like, boom, something popped into my head right away, okay? So it's going to be different with each card. So just trust what you're getting and go with it, okay? Now we have the third and final card. So what are we getting about this? Okay, so immediately the black person, the silhouette, that is showing me that is this person's addiction, right? It's like a black energy. And that is like holding them back because I feel like black is like pretty low vibrational. And the cups, because we know that cups are emotional fulfillment. Look at this person's like dreaming of all these things that they could have. And I feel like this person, it's like as soon as they can just let go of this addiction, they could have all these wonderful, beautiful things that they're wanting in their life. Okay? So that's how I just read tarot for somebody. Okay? So let me know, what did you get when you tried to do this exercise? Did it work for you? Did anything pop into your head? It's okay if it takes some time to do it. Also, tarot might not be your tool, right? Not everyone's called to use tarot for their psychic abilities. There's a lot of different tools you can use to channel messages. For me, tarot is like second nature. I can read it very easily. So this is kind of how I do it with every single reading I do. So let me know what you think about this technique and if it is working for you. Let me know in the comments. I'm excited to hear about what you all have to say about it.